Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Ioli, and my guest today is one of the best fighters in the world, but better than that, one of the best guys in sports you'll ever meet, the former world champion, Mr. Jessie Vargas. How are you, Jessie?
Hello, Kevin. I'm doing well. Thank you for that introduction. Um, I'm very happy to be on the show. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. A great reporter like yourself. I've always had a lot of respect for you, and thank you for having me on.
Well, it's my pleasure. We live in Las Vegas together. You went to high school here. You're one of the rare Las Vegans who actually went on and won a world title. For many years, that didn't even happen. So that in and of itself is a treat. You're fighting Adrien Broner on a week from Saturday on April 21st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That's going to be on Showtime. First off, what's your thought on Broner? I mean, he's obviously a talented guy, but seems a little inconsistent. What's your thought on this fight and what Adrian brings to the table?
Well, I think Adrian Broner is a talented fighter. He has several attributes that have worked for him in the past, but but I just feel that I'm the better fighter. Because of this reason, because of him being a talented fighter, I myself also, of course, I feel that I'm a very talented fighter and a step above Adrian Broner. But because of that, we're gonna give the fans what they want to see, which is entertainment. He has. I'm more versatile than he is, but he can also come in and try and fight. He can also try and outbox his opponent. So he's gonna try a few things here and there, and it's gonna make it an interesting matchup. I believe that you're gonna see a brawl every now and then because I'm gonna fight it out of him, and then you're gonna see a boxing match at other times. So you're gonna see a lot of diversity. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be very enjoyable for the fans, and of course, me representing Las Vegas, I'm very. I go out there with that on my shoulder that I have to make the people from Las Vegas proud and bring back another victory, come back and celebrate, and hopefully the Vegas Knights take the victory as well. We're waiting on that as I'm in training camp now, but you know, Vegas has become Vegas strong in the past year or so, and we've always been strong, but now it seems like we're backing each other up more than ever. We've understood the familiarity of brotherhood, and it's nice that I'm able to represent this city and represent it at its best. And this big fight is going to be one step forward, one big fight that we're going to give fans entertainment, excitement. It's going to be good.
You've been in a lot of huge fights in your career. Obviously, Tim Bradley fight, Manny Pacquiao fight. You defeated Saddam Ali, who beat the future Hall of Famer Miguel Cotto. You've had a lot of really good ones. Broner, I think, is an interesting case, and I want to get your thought on this. When he is at his peak, as we saw in the 12th round against Sean Porter, I mean, he is a dangerous guy, really fast hands, and he hits hard. But he seems to have lulls in the fight, in periods where he doesn't throw punches and kind of falls asleep. Is it incumbent upon you to kind of force him to work and make him defend a lot, sort of because that's never been his style. He seems to fight more in spurts.
Yeah, that seems to be his style, but as we begin camp, we prepared for the best Adrian Broner that can show up. That way, we're not coming into any surprises. Whether he wants to fight, what I mean by fighting for other people that don't understand that meaning, whether he wants to come forward and push the action, we'll be ready for it. Whether he wants to move around the ring, counterpunch, or if he wants to maintain that style where he just fights and bursts, we're ready for all of it. You have to understand that we can't prepare for one limited style. We need to be ready for several other any options that he can possibly possess. And I believe that going back to the tactic that you mentioned, at times we're gonna have to put pressure. At times we're gonna let him come forward, make a mistake, and make him think that he's brave, and that's when we're gonna catch him. I mean, we have to mix it up with Adrian Broner. He seems to be a fighter that the minute that you step back, he believes that he's on top of the world at that
He
moment.
feeds off momentum, right? If he feels like
Yeah,
he has momentum, he goes downhill, sort of.
exactly. He just creates. He believes he has momentum, and he creates, this mental pressure in his mind where he says like, have him, and we could use that against him. It's just about choosing when and where. Have him come forward when I want to, and then of course push him back when I choose to as well. It's a game plan that Mike McCallum has worked on, and we've had a great training camp, and we've had very good communication about what we're gonna do. I'm very much looking forward to this fight.
The one thing you mentioned, Mike McCallum, the Hall of Famer, the body snatcher, one of the great fighters I grew up watching. Mike was always an entertaining guy. You have the distinction, I think, of having the most elite trainers of anybody I've ever heard of. When you talk about elite boxers, you've been with so many elite trainers. You had Salas, you had Dewey Cooper, you had Roy Jones, you had Roger Mayweather. I'm sure I'm missing a few in there. How do you process that when you're starting to go down a path, say with Roy Jones, and he's teaching you certain things, and then you switch and you go with somebody else? You were with the Black Cobra for a while, Dewey Cooper. Do you take something from each one of them, and how do you kind of keep straight? Okay, this guy wants me to fight this style, and this guy wants me to fight that style.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to hang around and to connect with excellent trainers. And of course, I mean, I am thankful that I have been able to learn from one of the greatest trainers out there. And I take away, the best skills from different trainers. And thankfully, though, now I'm with Mike McCallum. He was able to not only teach me a different technique, correct a couple mistakes, and work on more of my strengths that I already have, and that he knew that I've had for years, because I've known him for ever since I was 15 years old, and he knows me quite well. So he told me exactly what he knew about me, and we had good communication. But not only that, he also helped me. I have a good understanding over the game, but with his knowledge, him being a three-time former world champion, one of the greatest, he also was able to imply his his mental fortitude inside that ring, knowing how the fight is moving along, how to control the action when you want to, how to switch it up. And so basically that in-ring experience was able to benefit me. Not only that, but him being there doing it in the past, he has shown me and explained to me what can be done and what can't be when it comes to training camp. What I mean by that is saying, Jesse, you know what, you're doing too much today. Take it easy. We need to work tomorrow again. We got the whole week ahead of us. Take it easy. We don't want any days to be put
So
under.
making sure you peak at the right time.
Exactly. You have no idea how much, well, you probably do have an idea, but it is very important to have someone controlling your pace, because if you push too hard, you could be hurting yourself more than you
Right.
help yourself. And he's been doing a great job of doing all that, and I feel lucky to have him. We have very good communication, very, very good communication and friendship, and I'm very comfortable with Mike.
Mike, during his fight career, was such a good body puncher. I wonder, does he stress you going to the body? And I know you're kind of a long rangy type fighter, but does he stress that? And will we see you add something of a body, more regular body attack to your game with him in the corner?
You know what? He doesn't pressure me to hit the body, because in order to hit the body, you have to be on the inside. He does. He has taught me. He has shown me how to throw the how to get the most leverage out of a body shot. And I loved it as soon as he taught it to me. He says, when you are in the body, and if you want to trade, this is how you do it. So he gave me that option. But he has so many things to teach me, and so many things that he has taught me, and I'm a fast learner, because when you wanna learn it, you consume it quickly. And so he taught me a few things here and there. And said, okay, I got it. And ever since then, I've been doing different types of punches, different types of moves that maybe some people haven't seen before in me, just different setups as well. And you will see a few good body shots as well. I mean, I had this question asked yesterday where they asked me, uh, well, what if Adrien Broner wants to come in and hit the body? He's a good body puncher. I said, well, look, I got the body snatcher right behind me.
Right.
I'm not gonna have any issues there. If he wants to go toe to toe and bang, we're gonna hit the body. That's totally,
You should know how to do that with
totally
him in your
fine.
corner. Hey, Jesse, you're wearing the Mayweather sports hat. You used to be promoted by Mayweather Promotions. Your fight on April 21st is being promoted by Mayweather Promotions. But I wonder, I know you've been in the ring with Floyd. What can a young fighter who trains at Mayweather Gym and who has been around Floyd Mayweather, what can you take from him? I mean, obviously his physical skills are different than almost anybody who ever fought. But can you take some things from Floyd, and any experiences you've had with Floyd that you can share that you think have made you a better fighter than you were prior?
Of course, one would have to be the mental fortitude, knowing how to always stay positive, staying, knowing exactly what you're doing, how to play a mental game in there as well. I've learned that from seeing him sparring, and his his work ethic. I mean, his work ethic was impeccable. I mean, I've never seen somebody train so hard. I grew up watching him, and I said it yesterday as well. Uh, it could be a blessing and a curse, because you're there watching him train. Being a multi-world champion, he said, "I want to try. In order to be that, I have to be just like Floyd." And I had that work ethic. I worked and I worked, and they said they asked me and they told me, "That's it. You're good for today." Nope, I'm not even tired. I'm not tired, just like he used to say. You remember that?
Oh,
Everybody does.
yeah.
I'm never tired. And then I kept that idea also. It's all about working hard, but and then when the years came by, I seen other fighters such as Maidana, just several other world champions that they barely did any work. I said, Dad, I would tell my dad, Dad, these guys are barely working.
Right.
Floyd doesn't do that. And then I just kept that mental pressure on myself that I have to work hard. But sometimes, every person's body is different. Everyone's workload reacts differently, right? And I understood later in my career, recently, that it needs to be worked out to a limit, where it's going to work for you, where you're not only wasting yourself in training camp, you're working yourself just enough, but enough to where you're going to be at your peak come fight time. And this is the first fight that I felt that way, that I feel, well, actually, I wouldn't say first, but I'd say that the first time I felt this way was when I fought Saddam Ali, because I had a 7-week camp. Instead of having 2 months, in 9 weeks, before every fight, sometimes I put too much pressure on myself. And I believe that I learned a lot from Floyd. One of them is the work ethic, but sometimes it backfired on me a little bit.
You're overworked. Well, let's do a couple more things. I don't know if a lot of people know, but you have a budding career as a sports broadcaster. I've seen your work. You do great work. Very good analytical guy on boxing. You've worked. I think you worked for HBO Latino, right?
I have.
And you've done Univision, so you've done some stuff on the Spanish language side. I wonder how much, when you have to analyze fights from this side of the fence, outside the ring, does that help you when you get in the ring because you have a different view of what's going on, I wonder.
Well, the first thing on my mind when I'm watching a fight and I'm explaining to the fans what's going on, what mistakes are being made, I say, "Oh, I wish I was in there." That's the first thing that comes to mind. But it does give you a better understanding of what's going on. As soon as you're in the ring, those same aspects that you were talking about, the same attributes. Okay, even sometimes when you see something that's done very well by one of the fighters, you say, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try that out." Things like that. I mean, we as fighters, we should continue to learn and never put a stop to your progress. And that's the way I see it. So I continue to learn in every way I can. But it does help, watching a fight here and there, and being front row, being able to analyze the fight for the fans.
Is that going to be your career post boxing? Because I think you're really good at it. Is that something you want to do, or do you want to get into do something else after the fighting days are done?
Well, Kevin, right now I'm focused 100% on my boxing career, on being inside that ring. That's what I enjoy the most. But yeah, definitely after the fight, I would say that I would love to go into broadcasting, and just because I do it, I feel that I do it well, and I'm pretty honest. You can't really tell me
Right.
who to root for or anything like that. I'm honest, and what I see is what I say, and what I explain to the fans.
And a couple other things, the welterweight division right now is loaded with talent. There's so many good guys. You have kind of volleyed back and forth, though I think recently mostly at welterweight, but you've been at 140 and 147. Are you a welterweight to stay now, or is there even a move to 154 perhaps?
I'm at 147 to stay, and as you said, Kevin, this is where it's at. This is where there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of very good fighters, and we're all gonna do a few turns, round robins they used to call them,
Right.
and we're all gonna match against each other and let the best man win. I'm looking forward I am looking forward to becoming world champion again, and I see this is the second part of my career. You do it. That's something that I want to explain, that I learned a lot throughout the years. But now, I'm 28 years old. I'm in my prime. I've experienced pretty much every style and everything there is out there. And now I just feel comfortable with what I am, the fighter that I become, and what I know inside that ring. I know exactly what to do at any given moment.
When you look at the world champions at this weight class, I mean, they're among the pound for pound best. You know, Keith Thurman has a couple of belts. Errol Spence Jr., who I think might be the best fighter in the world right now. I'm really high on Errol Spence. He's terrific. You know, Terrence Crawford is moving up into this. So there's three guys right there, and I've only named three of the really good welterweights, and they're in the top 10 pound for pound. Who do you want to target? If you had you beat Adrien Broner on the 21st, which way do you go? Is there anyone in particular, or will you take whatever opportunity comes?
Well, I'll take any opportunity, but we had some rumors and talks, serious talks about making the Keith Thurman fight, and because of that, since we already got the pot boiled, I'd say that we would pursue that fight. But it's all up to my advisors. I have to speak with them as well and see what's next for me in my career. But that's definitely something that I want because I've been wanting the WBC and WBA title in the welterweight division for some time now, and I'm looking forward to accomplishing something that I've been wanting to do for a while.
And one last thing before we let you go, I'm going to make you put your analyst hat on. Manny Pacquiao, a guy that you share the ring with for 12 rounds, is going to fight Lucas Matthysse in June. At least supposedly going to fight him in June. We'll see if that fight actually comes off. How do you see that fight going? Do you think Manny has anything left, and can he handle Matthysse?
I think Manny takes the victory just because of the speed, his experience, and his tremendous footwork. I know that he hasn't been inside the ring since he fought Jeff Horn, but he didn't take much punishment in that fight besides the elbows, and for that reason, I'd say that he probably is taking care of his body still today because I'm sure that this wasn't a decision that was made recently.
Right.
But something that was known, that he was planning on doing. So I'd say that Manny Pacquiao takes the victory, just able to outbox Matthysse. He's faster, he's more explosive, he has much experience, and he has great footwork. I'd say Manny Pacquiao.
That is a good one. Well, April 21st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. If you can't be there live, you can see this man on Showtime. He's fighting Adrien Broner, Mr. Jessie Vargas. I appreciate you so much. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, Kevin. See you.